I'm asking the court for help.
All right.
Drug addiction.
So, Mr. DeLama, here's the thing. I am going to deny your application. All right, we're going on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 7467, State of Texas versus Eric DeLamba. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense.
James Tochi for Mr. DeLumba, Judge.
And are you Mr. DeLamba?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea to count one of no contest on January 13th. Count two and the enhancement was waived without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. They're taking into consideration 2022 CR 8371, and there's to be no contact with Natalie Rodriguez. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the TAP evaluation? State?
I have, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objection to the PSI report? State?
No.
Defense?
Sorry, Judge.
All right. Are there any witnesses? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense? Any witnesses? So this is just argument?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, state?
Your Honor, Mr. DeLumba has a criminal history going back to when he was a juvenile, where he was committed to TYC for 3 different offenses, starting in 1997. Since then, Your Honor, he has picked up an alarming number of serious felony charges, failure to stop and render aid, drug cases, 2 assault family violence cases, one of which was a felony where he got 2 years TDC. It looks like he's gotten 2 years TDC on 2 different dates, a 4-year TDC on a different date. He has gone to TDC for 12 years on a robbery. And of course, we're standing here today because he was indicted on the case he pled to, as well as another assault family second. Also notable is that he hasn't escaped from felony custody for 12 years. Your Honor, and you're looking at the facts of this case, also 19.867 grams of meth.
Excuse me. Who has the phone on?
I'm sorry.
Almost 20 grams of meth, Your Honor. This is a level of possession that is indicative of having a large network, a large access to this type of drug, which we do know he is Mexican mafia. And in the offense, to the officers that day, he also admitted that he is a sergeant in the Mexican mafia. Your Honor, this is an individual who there is no indication in his history in the current charges that he would be willing to turn his life around or benefit from probation at all. He has gotten a tremendous benefit with this bargain, given the fact that he was minimum 25, and he has been multiple times, and he has continually gotten the benefit of a bargain for that. Your Honor, it is the state's strong position that he be denied his application for probation, and we would ask for the full 15 years.
All right, defense?
Well, yes, he's got a very long, very bad history. I'm getting away from that, Judge. So it is what it is, and Eric comes to me the way he does. I think, and I have not gone back and looked at all of the arrests into this position, but my understanding in talking to Mr. DeLoma, I don't know this is true. I think Eric is the guy, or has been the guy historically, that just continually takes time instead of taking opportunities to try to rehabilitate himself.
Right, and counsel, this is the criminal history.
Well, I have that, Judge, and it is long and extensive. What I'm saying is those are his juvenile arrests, but on the felonies, I'm not sure if those were probations that were extended to him and accepted that resulted in pen trips. Now, he informs me that he's never actually done that. I don't know that. But what I can tell you is that cycle that you're looking at, he really truly would like to try and break. And the only way he's gonna do that is if the court is willing to extend him a probation. Now, I know this is a large ask, but Mr. DeLomba would like to try to break that cycle right there. That's all I have, Judge. I don't know if he wants to talk to you.
Would you like to speak to me, Mr. DeLumber?
Do you want to talk to the judge? She gets to ask you questions. Be mindful of that.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you speak up, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, so my question for you, this misdemeanor case of assault, bodily injury, married, where you did 90 days in jail, what did you learn from that? I mean, what did you learn? Usually when people, well, you hope that when people go to jail, when people go to prison, they learn something. So I'm trying to figure out, what did you learn from that?
I don't know.
All right. And this unauthorized use of a vehicle where you received 14 months in the state jail facility, what did you learn from that?
I did.
Because see, yeah, I'm gonna need you to speak up so she can hear, okay?
I didn't learn from that.
All right, and then we have the 4 years in prison for the failure to stop and render aid. What did you learn from that? And then you have 2 years for possession. Did you learn anything from that? And then there's 9 months in the state jail facility for possession. Did you learn anything? And then the assault family second, 2 years. Did you learn anything? And then we have the felon in possession of a firearm, 12 years. Did you learn anything?
Yes, ma'am, and that, I did 9 years on that 12-year sentence.
And what did you learn?
I got college trades and everything, and I tried to help myself out. You know, I got caught up in the ways again, in the same cycle, I understand that,
Okay,
but I got my college, I got 3 college certificates, trades that I was trying to, use upon my release. And I got up again in that cycle of the drugs. drug
all right, and
addiction.
then this escape from felony custody where you did 12 years. What did you learn from that?
The same, that's all the same.
All right, and this escape from felony custody, is this actually an escape from prison or is this escape from a halfway house? What is this escape from?
No, it's just evading arrest.
Well, evading arrest is called evading arrest.
Exactly, but that's what I signed a plea bargain for that,
Okay,
and I didn't know that that's what was gonna be.
all right, well, the robbery is tied to that for 12 years. And then now we have a new assault. This is what I always tell people. I look at people as individuals and sometimes you're at a different place in your life. And hopefully everybody's learning. But criminal history is sort of like a credit report. It's sort of like if you have a credit report and your credit report is you don't pay your bills, then people may not want to let you get the vehicle or let you get the home. And so your criminal history is sort of a credit report for me to say, would this person be good on probation? Has this person learned anything? Have they not learned anything? Is there anything that can be done to help them? And then there are cases for me where it's this person needs to go to prison. You understand? So I'm looking at all of that, but I'm also looking at you as an individual. And for me, people are more than just their criminal history. All right. Counsel, do you have questions for your client?
Do you want to say anything? I don't judge, and I can see where this is headed. I just asked the court.
Well, I mean, we never know what road if we're turning to the left or right, the state may have some questions and we can see where they take this.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Mr. DeLomba, when you were sentenced for 12 years, when did you, or did you get paroled for that?
Yes, ma'am, in 2021.
So in 2021 is when you were released.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the offense date for this? Mr. Nolan, do you remember the offense date
tonight,
of what year?
2021,
So what month were you paroled from prison?
April.
So from April to July, you were able to accumulate a large amount of narcotics for sale.
Right.
Okay, and that, is it safe to say that your role as a sergeant in the Mexican Mafia was a big part of that?
I'm an ex-member.
I'm sorry.
I'm an ex-member.
Okay, so when you were arrested for this, you did indicate to officers that you were.
Yeah. I did not tell them that.
Okay. Where did you get the black brush with the screw top where you hid the drugs?
That wasn't mine. That was the brushes. Had red hair on it and everything. That was, that's in that. What they saw on me.
Okay,
And she informed the detectives that I was in possession of that brush with said drugs in it. It's the same person that put those songs on me.
okay, so you're saying those weren't your drugs?
It was mine and hers. It was. Yes,
Okay, so it was yours.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, so again, the brush with the screw top, was that something that was created by someone? Was it purchased?
That's what it was in. It was used to hide it.
And you said you sold about an ounce a day. What did you charge?
I was using.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna need you to speak up so the court reporter can hear, okay?
I didn't sell the drugs. I was using the drugs.
So you had almost 20 grams of meth just for personal use? No further questions. Sean.
All right, any follow-up questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, so the state has informed the court they want your application denied and they want the full 15 years. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, just of course, any leniency that the court can get. And, you know, I can't get away from the way he looks on papers, that, as the court has already said. And it's sad that Eric can't get out of the cycle that he's in. I always want to believe that they want to break the cycle, and I believe Eric does. He's been unable to do that. Another lengthy prison sentence, well, you'll get your pound of flesh, and I'm not saying that's not fair, but you know, and he may not deserve anything in the court's eyes, but I always, he's a human to me, and I think he deserves some consideration.
All right, well, I treat everyone who comes here as a human being. As I said before, I see people as people. Sometimes you ask yourself, why did this person take a left instead of a right? And honestly, I always wonder when people are in first grade and kindergarten, how did their life get to this point as opposed to doing something else? You wanted to say anything else, Mr. Delama? I saw you raise your hand.
Just on to ask for leniency. I do have a drug problem, and every time I get out, let's go back right back to it. I want to try to break the cycle. This is the first time I've ever asked the court for any leniency, for any help for my drug addiction. I've always took a plea bargain for everything I've done and done my time. Everything that is on my record, I've done my time for. I've already, tried to get over it, and that's not helping me. Penitentiary is not helping me. I need something. I need something that's going to help me.
All right.
I'm asking the court for help.
All
for my
right.
drug addiction.
So, Mr. Delama, here's the thing. I am going to deny your application. Now, they do have the therapeutic community at the prison that can help you with your drug addiction. I can't order them to place you in it. I can put a request in and say that you be requested for the therapeutic community. But if you don't ask for it, they definitely won't give it to you. If you write a nice letter, maybe have your attorney write a letter stating about your drug addictions and how you want to turn your life around, maybe they'll allow you to be in it. But I don't think you would be a good candidate for probation. And that's the reason why I'm denying your application. And I look at it globally. It's not just your history that makes you someone who I think is not a good candidate. All right. So I want to let you know that I heard everything you said. I internalized it, and I'm looking at you as a human being, not just paper. Okay. All right. The court is going to find you guilty, taking in consideration 2022 CR 8371. I don't know if I have that. There's to be no contact with Natalie Rodriguez. So make sure you have no contact with her. Okay. Credit for any time served, the therapeutic community, and I'm going to sentence you to 15 years prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your rights, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Lumba, when you get out, I know it's hard to do, but you're going to have to change people, places, and things. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. All right, and could I see the parties on Guillaume? And if there's anyone else who's ready, have your file put up, because after this, we're going to take up Mr. Meyer. Court is calling 2023 CR 11242, State of Texas versus Luis Fernando Guillon Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense.
Brian Kimbrough for Mr. Leon Hernandez.
And are you Mr. Guillon Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guillon, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're gonna waive count 1 and count 3, keep on count 2.
No objection.
All right, Mr. Guillon, did you understand that in count 2, you're charged with fraudulent use of possession of identifying items? And it is less than 5. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you're bargaining for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Guillon Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Counsel, was your client advised of the consequences of entering a plea and this cause number and the impact it will have on his immigration consequences?
He was, Your Honor. We spoke about it a number of times, and we did have a attorney that I think specializes in immigration law speak to him about it. Correct? Is that correct, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
And so he is aware of that and wants to go forward today.
All right, Mr. Guillon, are you aware by entering a plea of no contest or guilty in this cause number that there will be immigration consequences? Immigration consequences
Yeah.
from entering this plea?
Yes, yes.
You understand
Yes, I
that by
understand.
entering a plea in this case,
Yes.
the consequences could be deportation,
Yes.
the denial of naturalization, and you may not be allowed to re-enter the United States. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you speak to an attorney who
Yes.
specializes in immigration law about
Yes.
this case?
I did, Your Honor.
And what is your understanding?
Well, they was telling me my rights, like as a illegal immigrant, and then like
telling me that I understand. They say that I'm gonna get deported, you know, as soon as I get done with this. I say, well, thank you, you know, I understand they're gonna deport me, so I'm really, I tell them that I wanna go back to Mexico, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Even if my kids are from here, and I tell them I'm sorry, you know, I apologize, but I was just working as a responsible dad to take care of my kids, so
Okay.
I understand what the consequences is, Your Honor.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Is that the plea?
That is, Your Honor.
Is that the plea?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, state officer.
No objection.
Showing, you may continue to confer, showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Cesar Sanchez. And there's to be no re-entry to the United States. Going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, and you have a great day.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you so
All
much.
right, can I have all of the files that are remaining? Probation, are you ready on Matthew Montalvo? It's a request from defense for early termination. All right. All right, where's Matthew Montalvo? Good morning. I'm doing great. Court is calling 2021 CR 3955, State of Texas versus Matthew Ray Montalvo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Roberto Ambrosino.
And are you Mr. Montalvo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense has filed a motion for early termination. State, have you had a chance to review the motion? All right. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
I don't judge this argument.
All right. All right, I'll hear your argument.
Judge, Mr. Montalvo has been, when I understand, a model probationer since he's been on. He's paid all his fines and supervisory fees, or I'm sorry, his fines and court costs, and his current supervisory fees. At this point, he's only, I think, reporting in person every 3 months. He's been extremely low risk. He's done everything that they've asked him to do. He's gainfully employed. He has his own business where he cleans pools. And to be honest, I've actually used him, and he's done a very good job and been very responsible and showed up on time. And I don't think that Mr. Montalvo is any type of threat to society. I handled the underlying case. It was basically marijuana-based ones. From what I recall, I believe that you would be a good candidate to be off probation this time.
All right. Probation,
Judge, Mr. Montalvo has completed everything that he needed to complete. Everything is seems fine on our behalf, and we have no opposition for determination.
All right. Is there anything you would like to say?
Feel like I learned a lesson and,
All right, you want to raise your right hand?
yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Matthew Montalvo.
All right, what lesson have you learned?
Not to do anything wrong, to be honest. Changed my life that day, and since then, never really looked back. And somebody blessed me and showed me the pool cleaning business, and it's much more lucrative and less of a headache, I guess you could say. And I've been doing that for 4 years now, so I'm just looking to continue and expand. Brought my brother in now; he's working with me. So this was an eye-opening experience, and it was changed me for the better, I believe.
All right, and was $100 worth it?
No.
Anybody else with any questions?
Mr. Montalvo, my name is Hank Wilkins, and I'm the prosecutor here.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been in trouble before here in Bear County?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so, in 2007, did you get an evading arrest with a vehicle?
Yes, sir. That was my first arrest.
And what did you get on that?
Probation.
Okay, and were you successful in that or were you unsuccessful?
I finished successfully, I believe.
Okay, so the records here, would you be surprised to learn that our records say that you were
Okay.
supervision term was finished unsatisfactory? Would that be surprising to you?
No, because I had two running concurrent. I don't recall which one was the first one to finish. And one had like 2 more months, and that one was the one I signed unsuccessful.
Okay, and so did you have a forging commercial instrument or check in 2009?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That was-
and were you successful on that one?
That was the one that was running concurrent. That one, I don't recall which one was successful, which one wasn't.
So I'm not trying to trick you or anything.
Yeah.
Our records say that they were both unsuccessful.
Okay.
Your understanding is that you were successful on one, not successful.
That's
on the
what
other.
I was under the influence, yes.
So if your motion is unsuccessful today, do you think you would be successful? Do you think you'd be able to finish this out?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's. During those trials or cases, I was 18 years old, young, not mature. I obviously was a lot older when this happened and made a bad decision. And I decided to do this one the right way and not mess around, not fail my UAs and have to go to boot camp, ZT, everything else, but just get it done. So that's why I buckled down this time and use it as a real learning lesson. So I try to do it all properly.
So as part of the steps in your case, it looks like you had more than 10, but less than 12 vapes, right? Okay, so were you, this for personal use? You selling those? What are you doing with that?
Judge, I'll object at this point. I don't really see how that's relevant to the motion for early termination.
All right,
Sorry.
just so everyone knows, I've read the stipulations, so. Objection overruled, but everyone, I've read the stipulations, so I know what happened.
So you can answer, Judge.
What was the question?
Yes.
Sorry.
So were you selling the vapes?
How do I say this without, so that was just a bad mistake. I was helping a friend out, who needed basically help, and that's where I went wrong. It wasn't for me. And I don't know if that makes things worse, but yeah, so that was all discussed when I was arrested. That I was in a time of need. I was just lost my job, needed some extra funds, and a friend asked me to help him out, and I made a bad decision. And yeah, that should all be written down. I explained that to the arresting officer, so.
So you made a deal with the state when you agreed to this term, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking that you're trying to change it now, right? That's what you're trying to do.
Well, I just felt
Judge, I'll
like,
object. He's
I-
basically asking for a legal conclusion. I mean, I don't remember not asking for early termination probation. being
Object to
part of the
speaking, or-
conditions.
All right, so everyone. You understand that you entered into an agreement for deferred adjudication for 6 years.
Yes.
All right, so now you're asking the court that you be let off early and not complete the 6 years. Okay,
may I,
now, just 1 second.
That's
Yeah.
all, that's all.
All right, is there something else you wish to say?
what really brought me to this being here was my probation officers telling me repeatedly that I was gonna get an early termination. I just needed to do X, Y, Z, kept doing X, Y, Z. And it kept getting pushed next time we visit. So I just said, well, let me try to see what.
And I know you've been before the court before on an early termination and it's been denied. So let me,
With this.
yes. Yeah, no, previously, there was a motion sent to me for early termination. And it was denied, and that was back in October.
I was not aware.
Yes. Someone filed it and I denied it because that was, so. If you are tested today, what are the results going to be?
Should be clear and clear.
All right, let's do a UA and then I'll come back with my decision. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Hank. All right, court is going to call 2023 CR 10497, State of Texas versus Yolanda Kaufman. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Take a look to the state.
Defense.
I'm El Dapo for Yolanda Kaufman.
And are you Ms. Kaufman?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here today. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez, license number 2203.
All right. Ms. Kaufman, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those explained to you in Spanish?
Sí.
Yes.
And defense, are you fluent in Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you able to explain the documents to your client in Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you believe she understands the documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there no applications?
No applications.
Ms. Kaufman, did you review what's entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Sí.
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're waiving the habitual enhancement, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants of Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you sign it?
I was just telling her, make sure you let her finish the question.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Sí, señoría.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Sí, señor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Sí.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kaufman, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, señoría.
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sí, señoría.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, señoría.
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you advise your client of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in the application of federal immigration law?
We did, Your Honor. If I could add, just for the record, we had the court appoint an immigration attorney. She was contacted by the immigration attorney. She was advised two major things. Number one, that even though she's a permanent legal resident, she could get deported. And number two, after she is possibly deported, she could be denied reentry. Knowing both of those possibilities, she wants to go forward. And
Is
have a
that-
Padilla letter as well that we've gone over.
All right, is that correct, Ms. Kaufman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you've been advised of the consequences of entering a plea in this case and as it relates to the application of the federal immigration law?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, the denial of naturalization and exclusion from the United States?
Yes.
And do you understand the immigration consequences of entering a plea in this case?
Yes.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the office as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 and the attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may continue to confer. Ms. Kaufman, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
One thing we would ask, Your Honor, is that she does accept responsibility. She is an alcoholic, and she actually has her daughter in the back as well as her grandson. And they just want the court to know that they're here to support her in any way. There's a high possibility that she's going to be deported to Nuevo Laredo after she does her criminal time. And she's just trying to accept responsibility and be a success in the future.
All right, so with regards to, they're saying that she crashed into a building. Was there any restitution for that?
I know of no restitution, but there may have been some through insurance or something.
State, do you know if there is any restitution for the building? All right, thank you. It doesn't mention it in the steps. It just says she crashed in a building. It was a crash into a Goodwill.
We do restitutions if needed.
No objection to that, Your Honor. Let me just explain to her in Spanish briefly. What
Sure.
we're gonna ask. She's in agreement, Your Honor.
All right. So the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be a 2-year driver's license suspension. I'll request the therapeutic community, but you'll have to request it as well. There's to be restitution, if any, to the Goodwill located at 3400 Fredericksburg Road. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Kaufman, if you are allowed back in the United States, you had better take care of this issue you have with alcohol. Otherwise, other things can happen. Usually people who are driving intoxicated, they don't hit buildings, they hit people, and the people they hit end up dying. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত, কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন, ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছু একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে, তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন?
নিয়ে যাই
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে।
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজ ইউজ করেছি হানি।
সো দিস ইজ আ বাকলাভা।
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ,
আউটার লেয়ারটা বাকলাভার
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক,
চিজ কেক, এন্ড দেন দিস
দম চিকেন, আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি, পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা, ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি, টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টম ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনার কাছকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে,
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক, ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন 15 লাখ টাকা জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছে আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে
ইমাজিন
পারছি।
করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা,
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
সত্যি।
জি, চলে আসুন।
ঠিকই জানি, কি জানি, আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাধুনী।
chân thật và kiên nhẫn con mang theo gieo thiện lương muôn phương bằng cả trái tim thiên thần còn nhìn thấy khắp nơi mẹ ơi. Trên trời cao con rớt xuống đầy khóc được làm em bé xíu của mẹ này dịu dàng mẹ cười đón thiên thần đáng yêu.
Mình đang tô bằng cái màu đỏ nhá, một cái màu đỏ tươi rất là lộng lẫy cho chú công này, với bộ lông dài. Mình đã tô xong cái phần đuôi là màu tím và màu đỏ nha. Mình sẽ tô đôi chân với cái màu nâu. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. tới cái phần chân là cái màu nâu nè. Bộ lông dài, bộ đuôi dài lên nó sẽ che hết cả cái phần chân của chú công này nha. Mình sẽ tô phần lông trên bằng cái màu vàng. Vàng và cam kết hợp.
করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
আমি সেরা চমক দেখাতে জ্বালাবো শিখা দেখিয়ে দেব যা হয়নি দেখা।
আমি মৌসুমি।
মৌসুমি কি বানিয়েছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে চকো ক্যারামেল চিজকেক ব্লসম।
লুকস বিউটিফুল। আই থিঙ্ক আজকের দেখা ওয়ান অফ দ্য বেস্ট প্রেজেন্টেশন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন আপনি?
আমার ছোটোখাটো একটা বিজনেস আছে ফুড নিয়ে, পাশাপাশি আমি ট্রেনার হিসেবে রাজশাহী মহিলা টিটিসিতে আছি। আমি মাস্টার্স কমপ্লিট করেছি হোম ইকোনমিক্স থেকে, আর এছাড়াও আমি হোটেল ম্যানেজমেন্টে ডিপ্লোমা করেছি, আর এখন করছি হলো কুলিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা। এছাড়াও আমি কিছু লেভেল কমপ্লিট করেছি যেটা কুকিং এবং বেকিংয়ের উপরে।
সো আপনি রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার?
জি।
সো রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার হিসেবে ইউ হোল্ড আ ভেরি হাই পজিশন ইন দ্য সোসাইটি, রাইট? সো ওই পজিশন থেকে এসে এরকম একটা প্ল্যাটফর্মে দাঁড়িয়ে নিজের খানাকে প্রুভ করা, দ্যাট টেকস আ লট অফ গাটস। অল ইউর স্টুডেন্টস আর ওয়াচিং, যারা আপনাকে চিনে তারা দেখছে।
জি।
অ্যান্ড এটা তো অ্যাবাউট নাও তো 50-50, ইট ক্যান গো এনি ডিরেকশনে। ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন নিয়ে আমি বলেছি, ইট লুকড রিয়েলি গুড। টেস্ট ওয়াইজ ইট ইজ অলসো ভেরি গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এভরি লেয়ার, ডিফারেন্ট এলিমেন্টস অফ ইট ভালো লেগেছে।
জি।
নিচের সসটা ভালো লেগেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমাদের যদি সিলেক্ট হয়ে যান তাহলে কিন্তু একটা লম্বা সময় থাকতে হবে, মানে এত কিছু বাদ দিয়ে ওইটুকু কি করা সম্ভব?
সম্ভব, কারণ আমার বাচ্চারা খুব করে চায়, এটা তো আমার ভালো লাগার একটা জায়গা যে আমিও চাচ্ছি এখানে যেতে। সঙ্গে আমার বাচ্চাদের খুব ইচ্ছা যে তার মাকে এই পজিশনে দেখা যাক, তো আমি হয়তো বা জবও ছেড়ে দিতে পারি এখানে যাওয়ার জন্য।
মৌসুমি, আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিব, ঠিক আছে?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আসুন।
ইয়েস, পেয়ে গেছি আমার কাঙ্ক্ষিত কার্ডটি। যদি আমি অ্যাপরনটি পেয়ে যাই, তো আমি যেখানে জব করি তাদেরকে আমি জানাবো আমি ছুটি চাই 2 মাসের জন্য। যদি তারা মানে রাজি হয় তাহলে ওকে, আর যদি না রাজি হয় তো আমার স্বপ্ন পূরণের জন্য আমি জবটা ছেড়ে দেব। তাও আমি যেতে চাই ঢাকা। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
আমার নাম তাসনিয়া আলী।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
আমি বানিয়েছি বিফ লাজানিয়া।
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম, অ্যান্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
সেটা পারফেক্ট আছে?
আই হোপ সো।
ইটালিয়ান আইটেমে কোন উপাদানটা ছাড়া কখনো ইটালিয়ান ডিশ হয় না?
টমেটো আর মৎজারেলা, ওদের প্রত্যেকটা আইটেমে কাইন্ড অফ এই দুইটা জিনিস কনসিস্টেন্ট থাকে।
অরিগানো অলসো।
অরিগানো অলসো, ইয়েস।
এখানে মজরেলা আসছে?
জি, হোমমেড মৎজারেলা, যেটা আমি নিজে বানিয়েছি।
হোমমেড?
জি।
I am very impressed যে you make your own mozzarella.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর কি কি ইটালিয়ান ডিশ তুমি ভালো তৈরি করতে পারো?
স্প্যাগেটি উইথ মিটবলস, এটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্টলি বানাই। আর একটা হচ্ছে তিরামিসু।
বাংলা খাবার বানাতে পারো?
জি পারি।
5 ফোড়নে যে ব্যবহার করা হয়, 5 ফোড়ন নাম শুনেছো?
জি।
5টা মশলার নাম বলো তো।
মেথি, মৌরি, কালিজিরা, জিরা, নর্মাল জিরা, অ্যান্ড না সরি লাস্টটা মনে পড়তে
রাঁধুনি থাকে ওর মধ্যে।
ও হ্যাঁ, সর্ষে
রাঁধুনিও থাকে, রাঁধুনি থাকে। মনে করেন আপনি সেরা রাঁধুনি হয়ে গেলেন,
জি,
15 লক্ষ টাকাও পেলেন,
জি,
দেন করবেন কি?
আই থিঙ্ক কুলিনারি আর্টসে একটা ডিগ্রি পারসিউ করব ফার্স্ট অফ অল, অ্যান্ড বেকিংয়ে আমার আরও বেশি অনেক কিছু, যে অনেক টাইপের আইটেমস আছে, সো ওগুলো আমি আমার প্রফেশনালি শেখার ইচ্ছা আছে। তো আমি মোস্ট প্রবাবলি স্কিল বিল্ডিংয়ে ইনভেস্ট করব সবার ফার্স্ট।
So for now, we'll give you a waiting card. ঠিক আছে?
আমি ঠিকই
Mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha, phần lá là màu xanh nè. Còn phần chùm nho này, đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha. Màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. Để cho nó đỡ chặt nha. Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.
আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না।
On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
আমার নাম প্রীতি ইসলাম। আমি আজকে কোকোনাট রাইস রান্না করেছি। কোকোনাট রাইস উইথ গ্রিল চিকেন অ্যান্ড কোরিয়ান্ডার সস, সাথে পামকিনের আরেকটা সস দিয়েছি। ডেজার্টে দিয়েছি বাহারি মোহনভোগ।
আপনার মানে এই যে রেসিপি জি সব কিছু মিলিয়ে কি মনে হয় সেরা রাঁধুনিতে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য এটা দিস ইজ বেস্ট রেসিপি?
জি আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা বেস্ট হবে।
Preeti, first thing আমি আপনাকে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসটা বলি,
Yeah, sure.
ঠিক আছে? It's very dry. Second জিনিস হলো গিয়ে whole roast is not the ideal thing to do when you're serving this at a restaurant or এরকম একটা কুকিং শোতে. You don't expect the judges or the customer এটাকে কেটে নেবে. On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
এখন একটু আমরা টেস্ট করে দেখি। আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না, ভালো, থ্যাংক ইউ। আর ডেজার্টটাও মাইল্ড, মানে মিষ্টির ব্যালেন্সটা ভালো আছে। জি জি। কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হয় কি যে যখন আমরা অডিশনে আসি তখন এতগুলো জিনিস দিয়ে আসলে অডিশন না।
আমি জেনেছি কারণ আমি হচ্ছে ফুল প্লেটারটাই সার্ভ করতে
ঠিক আছে,
আমার ইন্টেনশন
এতগুলো না দিয়েও আপনি শুধু একটার উপর যদি ফোকাস দিতেন
জি জি
তাও মনে হয় আপনার
আমি
বেস্ট হতো।
সবগুলোর উপরে সমান ফোকাস দিয়েছি। বাই মিস্টেকেনলি একটু ফল্ট হয়েছে হয়তো, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি খুব যত্ন করে করার। অ্যাকচুয়ালি
আসলে যত্নের ছোঁয়া এখানে আছে,
আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি এবং রেসিপির মধ্যেও আমার কাছে ভিন্নতা লেগেছে আর কিছু টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট আছে তো আমার মনে হয় ওইগুলো যদি একটু কারেকশন করা যায় তাহলে ইট ওয়াজ গুড
প্রীতি দ্য চিকেন হ্যাজ ফ্লেভার, চিকেনটা মজা, সসটাও মজা, রাইট? বাট বেসিকে প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে। বেসিক ইজ আপনার কুকিংটাই তো ওভারকুকড।
আমাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পোলট্রি ইউজ করতে হতো মেবি এই ক্ষেত্রে।
ফার্মের মুরগি ইউজ করলে মনে হয়
পোলট্রিটা বেশি জুসি।
অফ কোর্স
আমার এটা ফল্ট হয়েছে, এটা আমি বুঝছি।
প্রীতি আই থিঙ্ক ওভারঅল টেস্ট ভালো আছে অ্যান্ড আই থিঙ্ক ইটস আ গুড এফোর্ট। উই ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ ইউ আ চান্স। ঠিক আছে,
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
ওয়েট করে আসেন, আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড হবে।
আমার খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পেয়ে গেছি। আমি কিন্তু কনফিডেন্ট ছিলাম যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পাবো, আর আমি এখন অপেক্ষায় আছি নেক্সট রাউন্ডে ঢাকা যাওয়ার জন্য। আমি আশাবাদী যে আমি ঢাকা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবো।
Mình đã tô xong bức tranh về chú mèo nha. Các bạn hãy quan sát lại bức tranh mình đã hoàn thiện này. Để theo dõi các video tiếp theo, các bạn nhớ bấm like cho mình nhé. Xin chào các bạn. Hello, xin chào các bạn đến với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Hôm nay chúng mình cùng nhau tô màu bức tranh về một chú gà mái này, một chú gà mái hoa mơ này. Chúng mình cùng tô màu nha. Một chú gà mái với cái bộ chân rất là sần sù, như kiểu chú ấy là một chú gà mái rất già rồi ấy. Nên mình sẽ tô cái màu của nó là màu đỏ nhá. Đây này, đây là cái màu đỏ này. Mình sẽ tô cái phần màu trên đỉnh đầu trước nha. Mình đang tô cái phần màu của chú gà. Mình đã tô xong cái phần màu với cái màu đỏ này rồi nhá. Giờ mình sẽ tô sang phần mỏ này. Để cái màu nâu. Đây là cái màu nâu này. Mình sẽ dùng cái chì ngòi nhỏ này. Một cái mỏ rất là sắc nhọn.